You know that feeling when you're supposed to work on something important, but you find yourself scrolling through your phone or binge watching your favorite Netflix series? Well, you're not alone. In fact, I used to struggle with procrastination for a very long time. But over the years, I have developed a set of tools or strategies or habits, if you like, to overcome it and become more productive. And I'm very excited to share them with you today. So stay tuned till then. First, let me take you back to a time where I used to sit in front of my computer staring at this blinking cursor, trying to come up with a video script, but it just wasn't working. I was telling myself all sorts of excuses. I'm too tired, I'm not inspired, or even I'm not good enough for this. I can't do it. And therefore I started doing reaction videos because it would help me overcome my fear of standing in front of a camera and just speaking to a lens. But the truth was I was just procrastinating, which was hindering me to achieve the goals I was setting myself. And this is where I understood that the key to beating this was self-discipline. It's about taking action in spite of how you feel and living a life by design, not by default. Over the last 3 years, I have learned how to push through the resistance and build a system that would allow me to fight that voice in my head. And today I want to share the 4 most important tips that help me overcome procrastination, build self-discipline, and actually get things done. First step is to remove all temptations around you. In order to create something great, you have to be able to focus all your attention on one specific task for a prolonged period of time. But with so many distractions in today's world, it is easy to get sidetracked. So you have to remove all kinds of toxic temptations around you that will distract you from doing your work. So in my case, I set aside specific periods of uninterrupted time where I was working on a project or a task. I also turned off all notifications that did not require my immediate attention, let it be my phone, my laptop, or my computers, which allowed me to withstand procrastination with a lot less willpower, and I could focus on one single task without being distracted. Now the second tip is to just get started. A lot of people just wait for inspiration to magically strike them from the heavens, but you just need to get started. You just need to get to work. Not feeling inspired is one of the biggest excuses I myself and people tell themselves to just not get started doing something. But in fact, action is not a result of inspiration or motivation. Rather, inspiration comes from taking action. It's rather a loop of inspiration, motivation, and action, and each of them feed the other. To focus on getting this loop started rather than waiting for inspiration to strike. Overcoming this initial resistance is crucial, but once you get started, you get into a flow of work and you enjoy it. For example, writing the scripts for these videos was one of the most challenging things for me to do. I used to, and even today, find myself looking for excuses to just push it off. Either I'm not motivated, I don't feel like it, etc. But overcoming that initial resistance and just showing up to the work, getting started and doing it was an absolute game changer, as I detached myself from my emotions. As soon as I started the first line, my thoughts just started to form and it all made sense. This applies to everything in life, to be honest, not only to work, but also, for example, going to the gym. We all have these moments where we just don't feel like it, but just going through the motions, you will feel better for it at the end. The third tip I've got for you guys is to prioritize your time. I think that I don't have time is no excuse anymore, as time is all about setting priorities. And if you want to achieve your goal, you have to make them your priority and pass on other activities. Writing a to-do list is a great way in prioritizing and scheduling your time for the day ahead. When making a to-do list, try to break it down in smaller steps that lead into a greater goal. For example, instead of saying read your scripts, just write in finish the intro of the script or finish the outro of the script. Keep your task realistic so you get more sparks of motivation to keep going, and it will just boost your motivation instead of draining it. Also set different time blocks to complete a certain task, which will allow you to separate the task but also refocus your efforts on one specific goal. I, for example, set different deadlines for different tasks, which pushes my focus and motivation to get something done. Now the fourth tip I want to talk to you about is something that I don't really have a name or title for, but I'll just call it external independence. Now in my opinion, this is one of the most important mindsets to have, and I will explain to you why. Now let's talk about your locus of control. This refers to the degree to which you believe that you, as opposed to external factors, have an impact on the events in your life. But what does it mean? Well, if you have an external locus of control, you believe that events in your life are a result of external factors. Well, if you have an internal locus, you believe that the events in your life are a result of your own actions. And when it comes to building self-discipline, having an internal locus of control is crucial, which means that you focus on what you can control instead of blaming everything that doesn't work work on some external factors. When you have an internal locus of control, you take responsibility for your own actions and therefore are more likely to find solutions to the problems that you're facing. For example, let's say you want to start a business but you don't have the know-how of how to create a website. If you have an external locus of control, you will say, I cannot start my business because I don't have a website. However, if you have an internal locus of control, you will find a solution to that problem. You might start saving up money to hire someone to create a website for you, or you learn how to do your own website. The more internal your locus of control becomes, the more solutions you find to problems that you're facing, which is a crucial part in building self-discipline and achieving your goals. I hope you find these tips helpful, but remember, being passionate about your work is very important in building self-discipline. But knowing how to escape the rat race is the foundation, and if you want to learn about how to do that, check out my full video on that topic. And don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, subscribe to the channel, press the notification bell, and I will see you in the next one. Peace out.